Are we live now? Hey, we're live. Woo! Yeah! Okay, so totally not being a bonehead on my part. I swear I did everything right. Totally not rinsed for streaming. Me and Korak totally didn't commentate a hand and a half before here. I promise, it was super excited. You guys missed 5 Yakuman attempts. And it ended in Rikoku. Probably the best hand of the season, gone to time.
Allow me
Anyway,
to
though,
translate. That's a pretty big skill issue by Harrison here.
yeah, showing why I'm coming out of A2. Clearly need to study up, get that book smart. But I'm, Harrison Suizo, joined by Arthur Korak, commentating some C1 games. Story of the night. Tyler can keep the guaranteed promotion. Can Eric and Oliver climb to get some of those extra spots as we come to the table? Eric with a toy that is going to finish. Just a toy
Yeah,
no me,
just
but
it
40
quickly.
foo.
And yeah, with all that stuff in the middle, 2,600 and then 2,600 point hand doubles your value right there. Who needs a third Han? Your Han's in the middle. All right. Well, Falcon is Eric and has a bit of a Pinfu hand. Nothing particularly fancy here. On the right, that is a pair of Hatsu by Eric. Can call this. And you have a few other pairs in Mon. Maybe Honitsu. We also have a floating Chun. Could always go Doratanki there at the end. Across the way, we have a Haku pair. And that is I'm trying to figure if there's a Sanshku here. Like maybe if you
I
get
mean,
the
hey, in like
6, 7,
5
8.
draws, yeah, maybe 6, 7, 8's your best option. You could
Yeah,
technically play
I
off the
think you
3,
just plan
4,
on
but
calling the Haku and go Doratanki. That
yeah,
seems like the easiest value there. And on the left, we have
standard Pinfu.
Tyler, who's looking for a Pinfu, and actually, Ishanten here would need to pair up the 4, 7, 3, or fill with that 7 so.
Yeah, do you think for Tyler, if you draw something, say the 8 mon, maybe even the 3 mon, do you break away from this 1, 2, 3, 3 in the Sozu? Try to go towards a
I don't
Tanyao and
mind
break the
cutting.
3 as
I
your
don't mind
pair?
cutting 1, 2 right here, and just hard selling out on Tanya using the 3 so as the pair.
Yeah, it just feels really strong with this hand. Sure, you might end up on that 7 so Kanchan, but I mean, the rest of your shapes with how strong they are, I
Well, you're
would sell it.
Tenpai now,
But,
and you're going to be
yeah,
reaching Nomi on a 7 so that's once cut, and just going to Dama this. And
I agree with
I'm
that.
always an advocate of if you're going to take the Tenpai, just Ricci, and if you're not, play the hand differently. And I think this was just going back a couple turns. You could have just cut the 1, 2, and you wouldn't have had to deal with this.
That is a very fair point. Luckily, not too many other hands at the table are fast. There hasn't been a Haku dropped, although Eric in the pilot
Well,
seat does
Eric's
have
hedging
one.
towards Honitsu here. You do have that Haku, but trying to float it as a potential value for the Honitsu, and is getting close towards Itsu now, but still has 3 Sotaos to get rid of, and we're near the middle of row 2. Although, speaking of Honitsu, the one that looks like an actual Honitsu is on the right.
That's true, but it's going to struggle to finish. You got to remember, one of those Hatsu guaranteed stuck in the wall. That means there's only one left. And that hanging Chun, not the best. Gonna have to keep relying on these Manzu. Head to head with Eric might be
Oliver
tough.
Ishanten. Oh, Sumagiri Ricci says, I've had enough of this. Just going to throw it, and there goes Adora.
Yeah, supposedly,
Oh, and there's the upgrade
yeah,
turn.
every time, the second you fold those diamond hands and commit to it, you draw what you were looking for the whole time. Story as old as time. Ooh, and interestingly enough,
7 may
Lewis
come
got us
out, but
off.
goes in and folds. Oh, and that would have been a Potsumo too.
Ah, feeling for you, Tyler. Many such cases this season for me. Lewis
And
struggling. Yeah, doesn't want to throw that
actually, a
5-10.
nice dodge here across the way there by Oliver. Could have thrown that 7 so and dealt in pretty easily, but just hard folding now. Although, admittedly, if they just reach Unoma, you wouldn't care that much, but or exist.
That's true. You never know. Still no Hatsu to be seen. Last one is somewhere in the wall. It'll be interesting to
Oh,
see
are we going to
whether
see some
Lewis can
conning
take
for
it.
flow? Nope, just continues the fold. We have a Tenpai call on the right, Atsuzuke, waiting on the Hatsu, although it's not really Atsuzuke because there's only one Hatsu left. The one mon are dead, and the other Hatsu is the door indicator.
Well, at least you know if it drops, you're
Oh,
winning
there it
off of it.
is.
Yeah,
And so that's not going to come out because that's
not
been someone
fooled.
who's been very tightly folding this hand.
Yeah, Oliver said, I know this trick. Tenpai, one showing in the wall. Something's off. I don't know who needs it, but
It's
they're
the
not
old
getting it.
why have I not seen any of these? The seven so is also dead, so this tile's going to matter. We're going to two players, Tenpai again, and change dealer again. We're in East 4 now.
Yeah, very speedy game. Interestingly, two hands went to Ryukoku. You'd think it's long, but dealer has been absent at the Tenpai table both times. We go to this high pie, not the worst in the world, but who's it? Lewis is going to have a little bit of work to catch up on. Maybe could go
Yeah,
aggressive towards that
conch on
7 8 9
hell.
Sanchoku if something's drawn towards the Sozu 8 9.
Oh, I don't like the three mind cut. Anytime you're cutting the
Yeah.
door indicator in a hand that you just want to call because the shapes are so bad, I think I'd cut either the 2-pin or probably the 9-pin here.
Yeah, honestly, cutting that 8-9 penchant seems pretty nice. But Oliver says, doesn't matter what you cut. I got Haku pair, and I'm coming out with it. Bam, bam, smoking gun. Speaking of those, Eric already hitting Tenpai on 7 Mon
Yeah, Tone
Kanchan.
Dora 1 as that 4 Mondora looking for another to upgrade the shape and value. Could pull in this.
It's an
Could even chi this.
interesting
Ooh, I like chi
idea.
a
I
lot.
do like the Chi, yeah. I think Chi works really well. You get to build in an extra door pretty easily. Yes, you do kind of slow the hand down to Yanshan, and you commit to dropping the Pinzu shape.
No, you keep Tenpai. You just chi with the
Oh,
3-4,
yeah, and
cut
then you
the
end on
8.
4-7 Mon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That is pretty good, isn't it? Little bit of a
Well,
miss
that's
there
an
from
easy
Eric.
pull.
Sneaky Chi. Kaiser,
Well, we
one
see
more
a
step
toy
towards
toy being
Tenpai.
played there on the right.
Oh, could even a. Listen, all I'm saying is
Oh,
4-4,
there's your
so if it's
Dora!
cut, you can
Oh,
still
okay. Well,
switch
you
away.
have to cut the 8 here. Yeah,
Yeah,
you wait on the
100%.
2-5 anyway now.
Yeah. I mean, there's
You
still
just you're kind of
one.
sad you
Threes are
didn't have
getting
the
kind of
2.
blocked.
Yeah, it's looking really bad though.
Oh, Oliver recognizes the Honroto chance.
Oh, we might see the 5 come out, and there it goes. Condor 2 does manage to get the win there. Picks up 4,200 and the Ricci stick, so now into a big first place, almost 40,000, and we're in South Round.
Yeah, very quick. Oliver in the pilot seat, looking to get some points here. Try to get above 30K with Eric, although not the best hand for it.
Has a
Four
Dora, but
unpaired
conch on
terminal
hell.
hunters. Yeah, exactly right. Not good shape with it. Have to come back later. Tyler looking much better on the right. Standard Pinfu. Probably Bianshan at an eye's glance. Eric across. Pair of Norse, a little clunky, couple Conchons, but with the right draws, a very workable Pinfu. Even a sneaky Shabo on those Norse, very possible. And oh my goodness, Lewis is drawing on the left. Ipeiko one off has this beautiful 7999 Sozu shape. Oh my goodness. Oh, Tyler drew two upgrades. We're in Tenpai. Isn't going to
Yeah,
take
December
that
without a
5 so
Yaku, waiting on
Conchon.
that 5 so, which is
Yeah.
not coming out at least yet. Will actually be used as a Conchon there on the left, waiting for the 6 so upgrade.
Ooh, cuts two so. Wants to keep four so around. What do you get from that? I guess you get to throw seven instead of a 4-pin earlier.
Yeah, you
But
have also even the flexibility to accept the 3-pin is fine. The 2 does
uh,
nothing in that hand whatsoever. And that's an upgrade on the right. You're
ooh,
actually Tonki now. You could just Dama this and look for an upgrade. Instead, Karagiri's here. I
was
don't like that
that?
at all.
Is that 1-4 so? If you throw six
It'd
for
be,
Tenpai?
yes, if you throw the 6, it's 1-4. If you throw the 4, it's a 5-6. And there's your
Oh my
Ipatsumo.
goodness! Look at that. I kind of agree with not taking that reach. Five so Conchon is so bad there. But I think if you're gonna reach, you have to build towards the Tonki
If you
shape.
reach you the 4 there, you're actually waiting on 5-6, and that would have been a Ipatsumo.
Oh yeah, you're right. Cause you have the end totes type shape, or you have like a weird Tonki and totes.
All right, well,
Whoa.
Tyler is dealer here, and the hand's kind of a mess. Probably just call it down for Tanya. On the right, though, that's a real hand there for Eric, and Three Chew, great shapes. Not much value yet. Can use a Dora, though. Of course, you draw the other end immediately. Across the
Yeah,
way,
but
we have Lewis with a kind of a Pinfu type hand. Nothing fancy here.
mm-hmm.
You'd love the 5-6-7 or 6-7-8 Sanchoku, but you're going to see how it comes out.
Old
And
classic
then on the
Tanya,
left,
though.
we have Oliver with the
Old
Pinfu
classic
Tanya.
Tanya on
Similarly,
Pinfu.
6-7-8 Sanshoku. Feels like that's the in demand one this game, but it's hard to get.
When everyone's playing the same tiles, starts to get scarce. Really interestingly, Eric is E-Shanten on the right, has a con locked and loaded to go as well. I'll be interested if
Oh, and
something is drawn
Oliver
around that
decides to
Pinzu if it's
pass on the
Rib.
5 and says, you know what, I'll just draw it myself. Easy game.
You love to see that when you're in that spot and you go, nope, I don't need it yet, and you draw it. Ugh, goosebumps. Oh,
4
speaking of
months.
villains, Tyler, oh my goodness, huge concha on E-Shanten right now. Looking at a Shabo 8-8 wait. I don't know if I like Eric throwing that 3-so there from 2-3-3-4. I
I
think
think
there
it's
I
fine.
almost
You could
prefer
just
the
call the
the
Hatsu. I'd
Hatsu.
definitely throw the Hatsu, but
Yeah.
your upgrades are kind of difficult, honestly. And
Yeah,
I
but
don't
it's
really
at
think
least
keeping
around
an extra
them.
3-so around when the 1-so is Dora is particularly useful. Oh, could have called for Tenpai here. I'm somewhat surprised you didn't just take that Chi on the 6 for Tenpai with the Tanya Nomi, because it's not like this hand's ever going to have a lot of value anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, just draw
Ooh,
yourself.
just
I mean,
draw
I
it,
obviously don't know what I'm
Rishi. Take the
talking about.
Shabo. See, that's
Yeah,
what you
easy,
should do.
Ricci.
Just draw all your tiles you need to win. That's what I stopped doing this season.
Yeah, I've been really bad at that this season, too.
Ooh, Oliver might challenge in a little bit. Ishanten
Oh,
right now.
well, there goes the 8 Mon there on the right, and I imagine if they get Tenpai, that's going to be a shove,
Well, it
as
could be a
Eric's kind of up
Tonki
against the
shape.
wall here.
I mean, listen, if 7 pins drawn, that could just be a Tonki on the 8 mon. Very plausible,
Well, that's
especially if
Tenpai
Tyler's
on the
worried.
left. I think you have to
Okay.
just slam it. No, just gives up.
Yeah. Taylor Reese is very
Oh,
scary, but you do
are we going to
single
see
it.
a con here?
I think you con.
No, just Dama's
Plays
waiting on
very
the 8
safe.
Mon.
I mean, I guess when you're in first like this,
You're
that
in
is probably the
first, you
right
don't have
play.
to. It also
Yeah.
depends where Eric is in the standings.
Eric's at plus 35. My guess is plus, I'd say
I'd
probably
say you probably need more points
90.
than that, but you have a long way to go still.
Yeah, but you
Also, the
have 4
problem is
games
you get out
still.
of there. There's a huge gap between 12th and 13th right now, and it's
hmm
going to be hard to catch really anyone other than Tom with where Eric is, unless there's a huge swing.
I mean, again, there's 4 games, so if Eric fares well in this session, could be totally fine. Might be worth just to farm the Uma. Depends how confident Eric feels in this
Boom.
matchup. Ooh,
Oh,
and
there's the
double
8. Deals
Ron.
it a double roan.
Rishi
Richie
Tanya,
Tanyao
no era.
gets 3,900 and the stick back. And Eric's going to pick up that 1,300. Realize the 8 Mon was the dangerous tile. Good dodge there. Oh, and
hmm
Dealers wakes up with an easy Hodetsu.
Oh, you know what? I'm
I
gonna
don't
defend
like that
this.
pay at
I'm
all.
gonna defend this. Traps the hand, traps the Honitsu just a little bit, gets people a little off teeter. I don't like the West as much. I like throwing 1 here. I don't like throwing 2. Because I do
Yeah,
want
but
to
you
go
see, there's
Honitsu. I
one
might
thing
play a
you're
little
forgetting.
aggressive towards it.
There's one thing you're forgetting.
hmm
Pay Tonki.
That is true. So you're saying you would have been fine with West throw at the start?
Boom.
West would be okay, at least to some extent. I'd still have just gone with the 1 pin and made the
Boom.
decision
Well, the 1
later.
pin was
But
the
regardless,
second.
we're seeing a bunch of open hands now. Hatsu's been called across the way. 8 pin's
hmm
been called on the left. Just Tanya Nomi on the left, and across the way, just Hatsu. So a bunch of cheap garbage hands. And that's the
Yeah.
problem with those Honitsu is you have to actually get somewhere. And if everyone just goes fast, you very rarely get anywhere.
Yeah, the problem with Lewis, oh,
Oh,
and
there's
now
a
Oliver
Dora,
is going to
and it
fall
goes
in
out.
too, is they can't play the Dora. So now they've kind of given away that their hands are cheap. Oliver is only really going to be able to threat this board and keep people back if, say, a Chinitsu angle is kind of
Ooh, I'd
broken.
chi this. I'd go Chinitsu.
Chi.
I'd
Yeah.
chi this.
Oh, and Oliver is going to do it. Now the board can be scared of that. Lewis now going to find themselves in a pickle. How conservative do I have to play these Pinfu tiles? Even if I don't think it deals in, how much do I want to give to Oliver? Giving a free Mongon away, definitely not a great answer.
And you're never even sure if it's just Mongon. Could be an Itsu in there.
It's true. With that 1-2-3 chi, would need the last 8, but crazier things have happened.
Of course, we know where that last state is, so obviously Eric knows that's not Itsu.
Mm-hmm. May help that push judgment just a little bit.
And look at that shape. That is Tenpai on
Chi.
anything other than, let's see, 1 pin and 9 pin in Pinzu on the left.
Yeah, you're right. Very wide. Although Pinzu are starting to bleed dry, I believe. 2 pin looks pretty good in the wall. The rest is struggling. Oh, and we're Chinitsu versus
Dealer's just
Shinizu.
shoving it. Chinitsu versus Chinitsu. And look at that
Oh
poor
my
hand across the
goodness.
way. I mean, Lewis is in trouble here.
Yeah,
Could end up
Lewis
in
is like,
big
I
trouble.
did not sign up for this when I pawned Hatsu. This is not what I was trying to play against.
The old "this is fine" with the dog and the burning
Yeah.
Chi.
building.
Ooh, he's gonna play a little aggro.
Easy
Keeps the
Chi.
Tenpai,
center.
three-sided weight. Waits on 4, 6, 7.
Oh, that's so good. You have to take that. Tyler's
And now we have
Tenpai too.
Tenpai on the 2, 8. Oh,
Oh,
wow.
jeez.
Shinitsu
No
Tenpai versus Shinitsu
overflow. Oh
Tenpai.
my God, Lewis might play into it. Oh, and Lewis
Don't.
And
does!
does!
Does the
Oh,
two
that's so
mon, then the
rough. The
sets it.
dealer
Oh,
Chinitsu. Mongon. 12,300. And now we have a fight for first. It's going to be a new first place with Tyler pulling that one off. And gets rewarded with a nice, decent starting. Not a great one, but not a decent one. You have the completed 1-2-3 shape with the 2 Dora. Could even potentially shift this to a Junchan. You have a bunch of extra honors to get rid of at some point. On the right, we have Eric with a kind of a pinfu-ish type hand, but 2-4-6-8, not particularly great. Across the way, that's a much better pinfu hand. Looking for that 3-4-5 Sanju, or shifting to the 2-3-4 for Lewis. And on the left, we have Oliver with an East pair, but
Home.
that's not really the issue, as we're in South round, 3 pairs. I think I just go Tanya, cut the East altogether, say forget it.
yeah, it's one of
Oh,
those
well,
where
now
it
you have
doesn't
an
give you a lot of
Onko. You
value.
could start
Okay.
breeding. You could start seeing. Maybe I might be
Like
able
an
to get
A6
3 more
Kanchan.
of those.
You never know. It's on the table still. I mean, you don't see any sevens. You do see 2 East out, which kind of sucks, but you never know. You might just draw well.
And dealer just trying to call anything, get the 2 Han out of this, extend the lead. But the shape's still not great. Rian Shun 10 even after that call.
Yeah.
2-4-6-8 and 6 4-6-8.
Roncon
So
plus
ugh.
double Kanchan
Sun
together. Ugh.
Con, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, pair
Well,
there.
at least gets a
Well,
pair.
which
Now the question
Roncon do
is
you like
which of your
less? You
yeah, I
probably want to
actually like
value the.
I agree with that. I
Yeah.
would highly value the So one just because So looks super cheap.
Yeah,
That you
Oliver
figure
is
they're
tossing
going to
it
come
out.
out.
Much better chance of getting a chi there. Oh, now this. I
Ew. I'd
honestly
say
might
cut
go
the
4
4.
pin.
I'd go 4 pin as well.
Yeah. Keep your both your pawn options, and again that shape
Yeah,
cheap
because you're not really
Soju or
trusting the
Sozu.
5 pin is particularly useful and immediate
Ah,
backfire.
tough. You hate to see it. I mean, you can still work around it though. Like 8 so, 5 so still might come out very easily from Oliver.
The problem is if you pawn here in Tenpai, you will be Fury 10.
Yeah, but then you just, figure something else out. You just work it to a Tonki. Oh
And
boy.
another backfire. Yeah, hey, that
Comedy
feels
of
like my
errors.
games.
Yeah. And these pins are going to be
Yishunten on
much
the
harder to
right as
come
well.
out. Ooh, that
That
is
is
Tenpai.
Tenpai. Yeah,
Not
waiting on
great on
3
just a
pin.
3.
It's Richinomi, so he's just going to
Home.
Dama here without a Yaku. In fourth place needs value. So I'm not really sure what
I
the upgrades are.
mean,
I guess maybe you get the 3 Mon and get Tanya out of it, but it's just ugly everywhere.
yeah, it's not great. I guess you could draw a 5 pin in 3 mon, and then you have like 3, 4, 5 Sanchoku chance.
Each.
Oh,
Well,
or
there's
Richi
okay. Just
Pinfu,
looking
that's
for the
something.
upgrade for the Pinfu says that's fine.
Oh,
Waiting
what
on
if
3
3
6 pin.
mon comes up? Oh boy. That is gonna be Ishan 10 still. Eric does
Well, there's
shift
your
correct
3 Mon.
diagonal. We aren't Furry 10 with Tyler in the dealer seat.
Still headless Ishunten on the right.
Is going to take save 5 mon. Probably feeling pretty comfortable with that Nakasuji 6 mon.
If you're dealer here, I don't really trust any of these tiles, so I just shove.
Yeah, I think you gotta play Tuso. All these tiles kind of
Oh,
blow.
well, we saw a bit of a fold there on the left for Oliver. Would have gotten Tenpai.
Still has chances to draw on it. Just Ishan 10 at the moment.
相撲
Oh,
Oh, but the
just
sumo
sumo reach.
comes.
Sumo Pinfu. No, Uro. We'll get some of the points back, but still a long way to go. As Lewis has a lot of room to make up, but we'll still have the last dealer, so that's always your chance. And speaking of dealer here, we have
Whew.
Eric with two Dora, nice little Tanya hand, a power of Sanso, giving this hand everything
Oh,
it can get.
Jesus. Let's not do that tonight. Come on now. No Sanso
Oh, come
occultism
on.
here. Come on.
There are three of them, and it is three. So you have to say something there.
See,
On the right,
numerology, throw it that way. Don't say just Sanzo like it's pulling the heavy lifting. Come on now. Come
but
on.
there are three of them. It lists it three times as much. That's how this works,
Oh,
right?
jeez. Well, on the right, we have just a hopefully move it towards Tanyao, Sanchoku in the 4-5-6, maybe even 3-4-5 range. Lewis is going to be gunning towards that. Across Oliver, Pipe Dream gone. Doesn't want to go for the show sushi. Not feeling it. Probably just going to form a pretty normal hand. Maybe look at a Pinfu or a nasty Shabo with that pay. Even once cut. On the left, Tyler looking for that tune. Gonna still be looking. No one's got it right now, but I'd imagine quick call and go. See how
本
we'll have to see how aggressive Tyler decides to play this.
Well,
If
this is
Eric hits
Tenpai, so we're
Tenpai.
just waiting on the five. This is Dora 2, Hatsu Dora 2, and that would take first, of course.
Very sneaky, very quick. Does
Well,
anybody
needs
sense
a
the
five, but
danger?
that's not the five you were aiming for. Now, interesting thought. Do you ever break Tenpai here?
I think if I had more Furry 10 problems around the Pinzu, I would heavily consider it. But when I have both sides of the Pinzu to upgrade from here, I think it's too good to pass up. Like even though 5 pin's kind of weak, you draw 7 or 3 pin, and all of a sudden you have a pretty strong round then, and that's like too good to pass up, especially non-furry 10 chance.
And you're, of course, Tenpai right now, so
Exactly, you're
that's
Tenpai
always
with two
something you're
Dora.
giving up, too. But it's always one of those things to think about.
Mm-hmm. His 5 might get kind of loose in Lewis's hands.
No shot. That's a 3-4-5 Sanchoku.
If you draw 8 or 5, or excuse me, 8 pin, 4 pin,
8 or
you might just
4.
take the
I don't know.
Tenpai.
Given the value you need, may even just throw it back and aim for Sanchoku here. That's what I'd probably do.
It's true, but I feel like you'd get rid of 4 pin a little bit earlier than you have been if you're committed to that. Keep like that tune.
Yeah,
Or I
I'd
guess
have kept
tune
the
with
tune. Just got
Tenpai.
4 pin there.
Four mine, not great. What's it called again when you
Karagiri.
throw? Yeah, Karagiri. Karagiri Formon. There's the one for
Yeah, I'm
hand.
never a fan of Karagiri, but in C1, I doubt it makes much of a difference. You get to some of the higher divisions, I guarantee you they're watching that. I made a mistake on
Mm-hmm.
one of those and ended up dealing into a really bad Von God.
Not happening. No one's really hitting their draws. Still 2 5 pin in the wall too, so I guess there's an okay chance that Eric draws one. But like Tyler didn't take the Shun, hasn't really been drawing upgrades. Kind of wants to play back in the hand, really doesn't want to mess up, give Eric a ton of value. Oliver hasn't been hitting shapes in the hand.
No, that's the thing is you
No
don't have to
Ishan.
necessarily draw anything if no one else
I'm
draws
not
anything
sure.
either.
Yeah.
Interesting that the Chun was not pawned there. I'd have taken that one. Probably reading this three
Ooh.
pin is really bad at just folding out.
Interesting that Oliver didn't want to play 5 mon there. Worried from somebody just folding out on the Norse. Doesn't want to challenge.
Well, there's the upgrade. We know the 2 pin is dead here. And this could be a Chi for Tenpai.
地
Well, with that late 6, you have to imagine it's dangerous, but you just don't think dealer has much here. Like
Mm-hmm.
2 hidden Dora is never fun to find out the hard way, though. And now
No.
3 Dora,
You throw
you cut
3P?
4 pin. Yeah,
Yeah, plays the safe before it goes in Tenpai. Be
Will
able to
be
see.
2 players,
Whoa!
Tenpai.
Good thing we didn't hit that. Oh my goodness. Come on,
Well,
Eric.
that's a
Ease
starting
up.
hand.
Ease up. No
Yeah, just
Dora,
call the
but woo.
Hatsu and go, but lots of potential value here. Maybe an Ipeiko even if you stay close. On the right, Pinfu hand, nothing fancy. Needs 3, so also a floating 1 Pandora. Crossway, Chun pair can accept a Dora. I don't know, you just go Chanto at that. You want to go Kokushu? There
Oh,
isn't even enough for
Jesus.
that.
You draw
Yeah,
the
it's just
north.
that
Honestly, okay, listen.
you could have cut 5 pin the first turn if you were
That's
considering it.
That's true. I think it depends where you think you need to be and where you are in the standings. Like if you think you need to get towards plus 100, yes, I think you play a little bit aggressive towards something off like a Kokushi here, especially with Nagashi Mangan off. If you think you need to get to plus 60, then you probably don't care as much. But I'm a firm believer of see what your first draw is, and that is the wall guiding you towards where you should play your hand. So for instance, if I'm thinking about playing Kokushi and I draw a Kokushi tile from the wall, then that's a sign. If I draw just a normal Tanyao tile, then a wall's telling me don't wish it. Just abandon it. Not worth your time.
Now, speaking of signals here, Eric building a
Whew.
couple Yaku
Boom.
high, could even go Toy with this. But you have
Yeah.
that 2-3-4, so unlikely.
I mean, it's possible you draw like 2-pin here, drop the east, and then 2-pin comes out. I think you snap call
Yeah, I mean,
that.
I'd take it for sure.
Yeah, especially with 3-2, and if like say the 3 mons drop, then the 2 mon is even better looking to come out. Situations
Nice
like that
fill
make it
there.
look
The
really
7
nice.
so on the left, but have that floating Dora. It doesn't really fit here. Probably wants to go Dora Tonki, but you already have the pair of the 7 pin, so pretty
Yeah.
hard to use.
It's a little awkward. I mean, you aren't over. Yeah, I guess you are overshaped too.
And Oliver's hand is just stuck. It's not budging.
Tyler could back up Shanta now and drop like 4 7 pin. See, if you're gonna drop 6 pin like that, then I think you just drop the Dora.
I think I would have
Eat.
cut the Dora.
Yeah, I think you either cut from the 4 6 7 7, like you cut 4 pin there, or you just throw the Dora, get it out before something like this
Easy
Eat.
happens,
chi,
and now it's not
100%
happening.
chi. There's Tenpai waiting on 1 4 mon.
hmm
As 1 mon might come right out too.
Yeah, it is Shonpai, so it's a little bit scarier, but Tyler doesn't really have much better except for Haku Haku. Oh, he has 7 Genbutsu, but
So they're
next
the
turn gonna be
Genbutsu
tested.
7. Yep.
Doesn't throw east.
Oh, that
Auto
5
queuing
feels
at 6.
bad, but shoves it anyway and
Don't.
gets the 1 regardless.
Rewarded.
And it's just going to be the Hatsu, but does get the Richi stick as well, as it's going to extend the lead there for Eric.
Ricci Stick gets a keep dealership. Pretty sweet deal if you ask me. Indu, again, not the best high pie, but not terrible. You have a Kanchan and a Penchon, but you also have your
Boom.
pair settled and an E-Peiko shape that's very strong to draw off of. Oh my goodness. Who cares about a Penchon and a Kanchan? Just draw around them. Just hit the
No, that's the
tiles.
thing
Easy
about a
peasy.
Penchon is a shape. You just don't expect to fill them that quickly.
Yeah, Lewis on the right has a hand. It's got tiles in it. Maybe an East 9 Mon and Shabo weight. Pretty guaranteed win, but not a whole lot of value. You're definitely looking for more. Still got a dealership to play
Yeah, just going
behind
to be
it.
Pinfu most
Oh
likely.
my
Crossway, that's a
Panchon
fill. That's
filling.
already
Jeez.
Tenpai.
5-8 Mon. We're
Speaking
on
of
the young
fill-in,
one.
yeah,
With Dora
that's
Pawn
Tenpai.
too. This is scary. This could conk
Yeah, there's your
anybody.
value.
Yeah, Tyler might just end up playing into this, not seeing the very early Tenpai.
Well, you don't suspect it to be Tenpai this early. You
Oh
figure it's
yeah.
probably 2 Shunten
Cuts
at
the
this point.
1
Maybe
mon.
Shunten.
Sumo.
Oh, 5's drop.
No,
Doesn't even
just
matter.
Sumo. Easy
Yeah,
game.
just sumo. Actually, kind of bad for Eric. That 2K gap to make it a little bit
Closes
easier
and
for
now could
Tyler to
even
draw.
potentially drop to third because that's going to be a pretty big win there on the Sumo. So 34-2 in third place, but it's all about Lewis at this point. Needs
Mm-hmm.
points and it's down 25K, but he is dealer. So if there's a chance,
Dealer,
this is when to do it.
Pinfu, hanging Dora. I mean, hey, this could be a good start. This could very
Boom.
easily become a Mangan. Mangan Sumo here to assert yourself. Would not be
And
bad at
immediately see
all.
the reckless 1 pin pulled from, I have no idea what that Yaku is. I assume it's going to be Brute Force Shanta. Maybe seeing Sanchoku Doko in the
Yeah,
brain.
Doko thing. I mean, I will say,
Oh, well, never mind.
wow,
Just draw
just
the
draw it.
Haku.
That's what they
Okay, I
talk
don't
about
like
in
the 5
Akagi with the
so.
demon flow. Yeah, 5 so you need to
I
keep
would cut the
there. Just
4
cut the.
pin instead if
I
you're
might
going to
even
hedge
just.
towards Shanta.
I might even just shove north. I think Haku Adazuka is like fine here. It's kind of obvious, but who cares, you know?
Yeah, the difference between 1,000 and 2,000 isn't much anyway, and you're already first place,
Yeah,
so you
just
don't
fold
care.
Haku if you need to. Although I guess if you're looking to end it quick, then maybe keeping Chanta open is the right play. Lewis has to,
Well, you
yeah,
can
has to
still
throw
do
that
that
5
even
cent.
without using the pay or the tune in this
Yeah,
hand, so it's not required. And you definitely keep that. I do not. I hate
yeah.
that two cut.
You gotta
Not only
two once out honors. They're not good enough. You gotta cut one. Like I think the fear is you're gonna draw into the one you cut, but you just gotta
1
take that chance. Like you already have enough shapes.
well, okay,
Two so
ignore
pawn's
us. The
valuable.
Tuso was the
2
tile of death.
Oh, well, yeah, well, see, here's the thing. Another Tuso gets drawn here, and then you throw it instead of making it Nanko. Ooh, but
本
Lewis hits an upgrade.
Oh, just going to be shoving here. It looks like Eric's
Plays
going to
a
fight
North.
this.
Ooh, Fort's scary, but Lewis can't care.
Lewis doesn't
Doesn't,
have any
plays.
choice here. Got to throw everything.
One Mon. Still
Well, that's
not
Isha. Oh
Tenpai. I'd probably
no!
throw two
Oh
pin.
no! Yeah, it's going to be two pin.
1
The problem is that Tuso's looking really bad. Oh, there's Dealer Tenpai.
Another
Ricci
5 Mon
Dora 1 waiting on
dangerous.
5 Mon.
Oh, 5
5 Mon
Mon's
completely
super
dead
dead.
though.
That is not coming out from Tyler.
Yeah,
Basically
how fault
zero
was that
shot.
one?
Three. Oh, 3 Mon looks kind of bad here. I do
Might
not like
throw
3 Mon.
Tuso here.
Yeah,
One
one
so
so into
first.
two so.
Feels like a Tuso is destined to come out.
Yeah, everything. Monzu looks too bad. Oops, saved by 3 Mon though right
Gets a
now.
C. Yeah, gets one chance out of here.
9 pin might come out. Nope. Could try 9, but I think you throw 2 and deal in. Yeah,
4
that
Yeah,
looks really
deals
good on
in.
this
I
board.
don't. There are two Ricci sticks, so I don't think that takes over first place. In fact, that may not even get him out of third. It doesn't.
No, everybody's super tight, but not quite. Oliver at 36,500 with that final run, just barely short of Tyler. Tyler up 400, gets the +5 Uma, and Eric
And
with a
Eric, the
big
big
win,
winner
plus
with
23.
23.3. And on the other end, unfortunate there for Lewis that Chinitsu was hard to recover from and just didn't get too many hands with the minus
Yeah.
41.7. That's going to sting.
I mean, it's going to sting, but honestly, with where you are in the standings right now, like, I think you're just worried about playing good, solid games, getting good, solid practice. And I think that's a very valuable hand or a very valuable game for Lewis because there's definitely some efficiency things there or some value that wasn't really built in that really hurt Eric in the long run. Like, I think that Shinizu, honestly, even I might deal into just because there's no overflow. It's only open once. On average, you're probably fine. And the other Shinizu is definitely Tenpai, but I mean, you do what you can, you try things, doesn't necessarily all work out.
All right. Well, I think we are going to take a break because we are looking for a B1 game, which will pop up in a few minutes, featuring GPML Pro Jen and B1 leader Stanley.
We will keep an
That's at
eye
the top of
out.
the hour, so we'll let you know. It will be 5 minutes after we know is
hmm
when it will actually pop, and we'll be able to broadcast it for you. But until then, we're going to take a break and see how things are going.
Yep, we will be right back. 2. Alrighty, we're back. We're back. We're gonna be starting in just a second. Got a little bit of a switch up. Blaine, how you doing?
Hey there, Harrison Ford, under the floorboards.
Oh boy, there it is. There it is. Always Indy. You know, there was a president named Harrison too. No one ever says that. No one says, President Harrison.
Oh
Nope.
yeah.
Nope. Always Harrison Ford.
Well, thank you for reminding me.
Oh, we got a fun
Oh,
game. Compton had a good time. We got Hanley, Stanley, Jen, and Irie, and
oh
maybe
yes,
the tightest league of the season. 16
yeah,
slots, and there's a lot of movement up and down. We'll have to see. I'm curious. There's a pretty big margin of top side movement happening. So
yeah.
there's like
You've
a
got
yeah,
six
six
people
people,
promoting here.
and there's more hiatuses too. So I know this league is getting expanded to at least 20. There's even a world where it gets expanded to 24, which I think is where it's supposed to be, if I'm not mistaken. So I like anything could happen. I have no idea what's promotion
Oh,
looking like. If everybody's
for sure.
positive, if you know, there's only going to be one or two demotions. It is so up in the air right now. But
Even if it is just being positive, I mean, our promoters here are only about 25 points above
that's
par
very
here,
true. Yeah,
so
Stanley and
that can
Hanley
change.
feeling comfortable, but Irie and Jen, one bad game, they're on the chopping block. And I will tell you this: Edwin will not let someone promote if they're negative. In
Yeah, but
99.9% of cases. There have been very, very rare situations, usually towards lower leagues, where that's happened once or twice. But that is the one that almost never gets break.
well,
Anyway,
this
though,
game is underway. Our first
yeah,
dealer is Stanley. Dora is 7 so, and we already have a pretty good hand incorporating that Dora right now. Got double East, has an East as well. Getting all the other wins though, so might be dropping that here pretty soon.
yeah, I think it's just going to be whenever a shape upgrade comes. That Pinfudora going to be a very nice start. Mongon in the making. Although Hanley on the right, looking for much of the same. Might even just throw a Dama here with the much weaker no Dora, no dealer. Pinfu that is building up in the hand currently. Sitting
We
around
also see
Shanten
Dora.
still.
We also see Dora in the hand across with a nice Anko of 5 pin as well. That hand is Ishanten now, I
Yep.
believe.
Could get a very tricky 3-pin west weight. Is the seat win, so not going to be as free as it normally be, but there is already one out. So odds are someone would trust it if they need some safety. And Jen on the left, nothing too much going on. She might be looking towards a Chanta with this, with the right draws, but probably just going to try to get a reach. Oh, and a bit
Yeah,
of a backfire from Irie. Doesn't trust drawing around that 8, so doesn't want to commit to breaking up this 3-3, 5-5-5, 6 shape.
I'm pawn called by Irie now,
Yep.
trying to get this hand moving.
Sitting Tenpai on 5-8 Mon. Came out from dealer, so it's Genbutsu. Might even get here. And
There's
it
the 8 and
will.
it comes out.
It is going to be Shad, Dora 1. Just 2k. Nothing too big, but every
A
time you
good
get
opening
somebody
shot.
off the dealer, yep, limit the points on the board. Limit a big, crazy dealer run, like I feel like we've been seeing all season.
Absolutely. And here we go to East 2. The Dora is the green dragon.
It
This hand has got
is.
a decent shape with the 789 right now, but otherwise, not a whole lot going for this dealer right now.
Yeah, definitely struggling. I kind of wiggling towards Tanya might be your best option. You might just be hoping to hit a closed Ricci though. Hit the right draws, be very speedy. Problem is Irie on the right, especially with that Anko of 8, so is just drawing, speeding up that hand. Has the Anko of Chun too, so it can be a little tricky with a
Yeah, I
Dama
mean,
here.
especially having that early lead, you might be tempted to just keep on punching it, get to your dealer turn.
Jen across, not too much. Standard Pinfu in the making. Might end up on 8-pin 9-mon Shabo. Hanging Dora, but with one out. I think just a breath away from dropping it. And Stanley on the left, looking at a very nice Pinfu Ishan 10 right now. Could even end up double San Benchan Ishan 10.
Yeah, good shapes there indeed. Meanwhile, our dealer,
Ooh,
I'm
Jen's
not seeing too
Bronco
much different
big.
about this hand since we started here, so
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
that's a
We
good
just had to
pickup.
talk about it. That's how you hit Conchons. Easy.
Every time, every time.
Simple as. Oh my goodness. Oh, I was gonna say Jen is about to put up nasty 6-mon Suji, but I forgot that she drew that Onko of 9-mon, so it doesn't matter. It does have the Pinfu route too now though. If she so desires, can draw like 6-9 pin, drop a 9-mon. Get that
Right.
Tenpai.
Also have a pair and 8-pin,
Lychee.
so do with that
Ooh.
what you will. But we've got Tenpai now from Irie. That'll be waiting on the
3-6-mon.
lychee.
6, yes.
Looks pretty
But
decent on the
Jen
wall. Jen's
immediately
firing
chasing.
back. 5-8 so. Ooh,
There's the
Hanley might have to
3.
jump out here. This hand's pretty bad. Especially against 2 Reachies. That's a hard push to justify. Honestly, I think if I'm Irie here, I don't reach this. I have 2 Onkos and 2 pairs. Part of me wants to see if I can greet a Son Onko route.
Chi.
And like, yeah, the Ricci is nice, but it's still just Ricci Chun at the end of the day with a bunch of blue. Although
But
Ricci
this
Chun
one, the
Sumo will do
sumo
it.
will happen. No Ura Love, but that'll be 7,200 points to really solidify this position here.
Yeah, I mean, plus 62 because of the extra reach stick from Jen. Not too bad at all. Took the reach without knowing that Jen was going to follow right up, but hey, what's Ricci without chance, right?
Yeah, why not?
Irie in the pilot seat now. We got 3, 4, 5 cooking up. Looking for Sanshoku around that neighborhood. Jen, Itsu brewing. Needs
Wow.
7-8, so. Has 2 completed parts of it. Still having no pair, though. And the rest of the shit
Home.
kind of abysmal. But an Itsu with that Lonely West could pair up and be a very scary hand. Stanley taking very quick Haku Ishan 10. Could end up on
Wow.
a kind of not great Kanchan or Shabo. But could also solve that problem and end up on 2-5-mon. And Hanley on the left. Pinfu of all time, baby. The
Oh, wow, yeah.
classic.
Textbook Pinfu right there for sure. Well, we're seeing Jen, the Itsu, having a little bit of trouble coming together.
Ooh, could even look towards
Might actually be
6-7-8.
abandoning it here. Yeah, 678 Shanshoku. Yeah, that just kind of sprung up in the hand just
Chi.
now, really.
I mean, it's still kind of far, though. Again, 7 or 8 would have helped Jen with the Itsu. I think Jen, though, seeing double 8-so out, or even an 8-so, decided to abandon it. Just play full odds. Surprised Hatsu didn't come out before. We do have Tenpai on just the 6-pin for Irie. There's still 2 in the wall and 2, or excuse me, there's only 1 in the wall. And there are 2 9-pins.
There's one of the 6-pins, but the
Ooh.
9-pin's gonna come out.
But again,
That
no
doesn't deal in.
Yaku.
Right.
Irie did switch up a little bit, is able to get just the 6-pin weight, but the problem being still terrible weight. And I was going to say any shifts have Furry10 problems, but this is a non-Furry10 problem. This is actually a super good shift, ending on 6-mon
Wow.
5-pin. Well, that weight's not great. You draw anything around this 6-mon, and all of a sudden, you are in a pretty okay position. If you get an extra 5-pin to go on 2 while you're in this weight, you get 3, 4, 5 Sanshoku chance.
And
I
that's
guess not
exactly
quite.
what happened. Well,
You'd
almost,
have
but
to draw
4 to
3
7
mon and
mon
take the
now.
Ryanmin, but you just keep the Ryanmin most of the time. But yeah, 4, 7 mon, much better weight in the wall. Still lots of 4s, lots of 7. This might even deal in from Stanley here. Stanley does watch Tadashi, so might see that 6 mon, be a little bit worried. Is going to take the
He is gonna
chance,
drop
though.
it.
It is cheap, so that could have been part of the thought process too. Reading that it's Hanyao no Mi with that Dora. Willing to risk 1,500 points there.
It's all Irie as we continue with East 3. The door is now 1 pin. Couple of pairs in this hand to start with. Well, 3 if you count the shape. Well, now it could
Ooh.
become a
Now we're
pair
looking
and a
towards
sequence as well.
Entotu, something interesting. Irie opts to go towards Tanyao, cuts south-south. Says, not in this hand, not while I'm dealer. Ooh, seeming to get
Good
rewarded
thinking.
too. Powerful
Wow.
draws. Although Jen on the right with a very good hand too. Has some clutter to get out, but hitting very good draws to fill in.
This
Stanley,
could be another shot at that Sanchoku again here.
that's true. Stanley across. Much more standard hand. Probably Hatsu call and go. And Hanle on the left. Very quick Pinfu. Still sitting Ryan Shanten, but very strong upgradable shapes. Ooh,
Good
big
draw from
Onko
Irie
for
here,
Irie.
deciding how to work this Anko into the hand.
Very interesting decision there. You could play 3-5-7-8, dropping the 8 to make a 3-5-7 Ryoncon. But I think Irie realizes the value of just taking a reach here and would much rather just have the Ryanmin in. Although with 2 9-mons out, it's a bit harder to work in. You might opt there to just keep your open Tanyao backup plan just in the pocket if you ever want to call for it.
Hmm. We see the first appearance of the Dora in Jen's hand, and she's gonna drop it right back.
Yeah, she said, I don't need a lot of value. I'm worried about how much Stanley has. I'm just going to toss this out. Don't need it. I'll play my
Yep.
shape.
Still a very close position here for all 4 players, really.
Oh, what if Jen doesn't realize Nagashi Mangan isn't in rule set? That would be a beautiful moment for Jen to have her Nagashi Mangan Armal moment. What I call a staple in the Armal learning environment.
Hmm.
The one hand or situation where you learn that Nagashi Mangan is actually not in rule set.
But we've got a reach now from Hanley.
Oh my
8 mon,
goodness, and an
1 pin.
amazing draw
So,
for
rather.
Irie. Kodama on 6 mon is going to take it.
Wow, there we
9
go.
mon is dead, so doesn't need to worry about Furiten and San Anko just a breath away. Even more upgrades past that. Tupin's not going to be one. It looks pretty good. Sotagawa 1 chance. Dora out right before. Does pass.
And of course, this is a situation where the wall is practically giving Nagashi to Jen here. She might be thinking about, let's play this
Oh,
safe though,
but the
and there
6
you go.
comes out, and it is unfortunately just Hanyao Nomi for 2k. Irie
I'll be sure
takes
to
the
let Jen
win.
know on her stream next time that Nagashi isn't real here.
Oh, she probably knows. She's been in here for a couple
Yeah,
seasons.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure she's learned by this point. Or maybe not. I think it took me 2 seasons before I realized it wasn't in rule set. One
But
or two.
speaking of Nagashi, you've got 3 pairs in this hand that are all terminals and honors. An interesting start to Jen's hand. But looking back at the dealer as we continue East 3, Ivory winning 4 in a row now. The Dora being 4 pin could fit into this hand, but some tricky looking shapes here. You have the 2 Easts, which you could easily turn to 2 Han should the third one come
Oh,
out.
my freaking goodness. Well, Irie's got double E's, but I'm more worried about this hand to the right. Oh, don't do
Right, from
Chi
Jen.
Toy. Don't do Chi Toy no
Ooh.
Honitsu. You have so much value, Jen. Believe in the pawn
Hmm.
that believes in you, Jen. No! Oh my god. I'm watching a hand die in real time. All to this 1600 Chi Toy. 3200 cap. What a sad fate. Many propagandists would have you believe that is the Chi Toy of the future, but it's just the value is just gone. There is no hope anymore. Although Jen might
I
try to go
mean,
into like a Honroto Chitoy, which is
I was about to
something, but
say,
with Tupin though, it's rough. That's the thing. If you don't have those 2 pins, then I think I'm fine. Like kind of still building in Chitoy, not playing aggressive on calls, but with 2 pin, I think you're just gonna take a Chitoy if it comes. Now you can work in Honitsu, which is a bit better, but Chun's a hellweight, so still hard. Although Stanley gets Tenpai across. And
waiting on
8-0
eights
looks
here.
pretty good.
8
You got a
so
bunch
and
of
8 pin.
fives. Yeah, 8-0 8-pin. I'd say 8-0's got a pretty good chance of coming out. Yes, it is, what is it? Uh, Reachy Tile Suji, which is normally pretty bad, but it's first row, so someone might trust it. And Sozu are pretty cheap on this board. You already see 2 sevens out,
You
3
saw a
sevens
pause
out,
there.
so Ryan Khan is much less likely. Oh, Jen
Was
shoved the
Jen
one.
thinking about
Long
pawning the
Suji.
white dragon there, perhaps?
Oh, goodness. I mean, the problem is now north-south, though, and you have a 9p out, so it's too hard now, I think. Jen might just have a better time just still committing to Chante here. Oh, you didn't
Oh, no.
trust this one in terrible 6 that you're free 10 on.
I mean, I like Cheetoy. I'll be
Cheetoy
that
does
propagandist for
not
Cheetoy.
care about your
But,
feelings. It hates you no
oh,
matter what.
hang on now. She's dropping the 2 pin.
Yeah, that's a
But
good
the
2 pin.
Tumon
It's
comes
just a
out,
fold.
so yeah, fold there.
2-mon gets
But
out by
Irie winning
Irie.
now 5 in a row. In the words of the great Tim Kitzrow, he's on fire! Or she's on fire?
Yeah.
I missed the pronouns.
She's killing it right now. She's doing quite
Okay,
well.
gotcha.
3
Gotcha.
Homba in the pilot seat. You'll love to see that. The hands haven't been all too expensive, just a bunch of 2 Hans. But, again, getting that dealer bonus, a big deal. And, oh my goodness.
It's all about tempo, but
Irie,
this
this
could be
Honitsu. Okay, now it's
this
given
could be
away.
where Irie pops off right
I
here.
mean, technically, this is Bakahon, which is a 2-Han hand. This could very well still be 2-Han. Could have possibly passed that first West, kind of hidden this Honitsu. 9-pin 1-mon, 2-pin 7-mon. I think would do a pretty good job of hiding it, but once you drop that 5-2 back to back, it's kind of obvious something weird's going on.
Take a look at Jen's hand here.
No,
Well, not as
Dora
put together, but
Pinfu.
Dora Pinfu is definitely coming in quite quickly here.
It's coming. It's
Across
still
the
got some
way, you
hard
see
hits.
you see a hand that would greatly benefit from that 6-mon, but it's already looking fine without it. You pick up a 4, you got Ipeco.
Yeah, I wonder if Stanley is going to kind of cut aggressively away from the Shozu. And Stanley just looks to be playing shape, doesn't want to greed for a Chinitsu or anything. Stanley at the top of the league, so no reason to kind of overextend. Put himself into a precarious spot and have to push something bad.
3 calls. Irie gonna, of course, call this Honitsu to fruition here. Now Tenpai is Jen,
Tenpai
waiting on the
Forso.
Forso. For Tanyao and an open Pinfu.
Tanya Dora won, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't really switch off of that, but Tanya, it's Dora 1. Ooh, Stanley Ishanten with that draw. Doesn't trust dropping any Sozu, though. Doesn't like this Bakahon. Maybe sensing that there is a Hatsu Anko, as Hatsu has not hit the board, saying this might be 77. Or, I guess Itu's pretty rough here. No, Itu's dead. Never mind.
Well, Hanley called the 2 pin there, hanging on to that pair, so counting on one coming out, perhaps.
He's only going to get tested with that 4. Doesn't like it.
There's the 4. All right, so that fits.
Tenpai on 8, so.
All right, dealer 10. Can
Hanley take it? Is going to shove the 7.
And now Hanley is
wow,
Tenpai, waiting on
4.
3 pin and 7 pin, but that's going to deal into Jen.
Tanya Dora 1, 900 Hamba and tip. And says thank you kindly. I'll take my dealership now.
And a good way to get close to 30,000 again. That all-important number.
Ooh, and Tenho liking to be difficult. Said, hey, Harrison, why you switching so fast? Can't be doing all that.
It's got a mind of its own some days.
Oh, look at that. We missed so much. South, north, south. Really invigorating first round of discards here.
I'm more interested in this hand, though. Look at this hand for Jen.
Very
2 Dora
nice.
already.
Oh, this is actually
great shapes.
Is so interesting because you have 2 Dora, but you also have a Chan or a Junchan. which would be 3-Han closed. Jen doesn't even want to
She's
entertain
deciding
it,
not
just
to.
wants to lock in the guaranteed 2 Dora instead of the possible Junchan. I think it's a very fair play. I will say
Absolutely.
7-mon to 1-mon Shabo is very strong too. So there's an argument that with that way, it's too hard to pass up.
Oh, and now picking up the 9, so this is Ishanten.
Mm-hmm. Just looking for 1-4, so
Meanwhile, on the right, we have an Ipeco shot coming together, but it could be Chitoy instead. You got
could
5
be
pairs already.
Chitoy. You have an Anko too. It's decision time. What does Stanley want to do? Could drop 4-mon and kind of play wishy-washy right now. I don't hate that.
That's
Is
what
going to
I'd
go
do.
all in on Forso, though. I don't think I like Forso here. Because now if you draw
Hmm.
the Ipeco, you just kind of have this very clunky rest of the shape. I think you either just toss 2-mon deck, uh, or you drop 4-mon here and kind of build towards like a toy. Sananko,
Oh, now we might be
maybe
looking at
even
that.
Suanko. If Stanley hits Suanko after I missed it on a Tonki Tenpai yesterday, I'm gonna freak. I'm gonna go ballistic. They're gonna have to take me out of this commentary booth. They're gonna have to take me out the cupboard. Have me cool
but
off
but you're
outside.
running you're running the thing. We can't kick
Somebody
you out.
listen. They're still gonna have to do it. They're gonna have to. They're gonna have to EV me out of the cupboard. It's just worth it in the end. There's 6-0 coming by. Silly shot. How are we looking on Suanko tiles actually? 2 9P in the
Let's
wall,
see.
very solid, and 1 7-so still in the wall, and 3-mon is 1 in the wall as well. So
It could
looking
happen.
pretty
30 draws
good.
left.
Ooh, that's another 9P. Yeah, and Stanley
Okay,
takes
going
that.
for
That's
Toy
fair.
Toy.
End of the second
Son-
row, and that's your second out. I think you do got to take that. It's too hard to pass up.
oh, it could be here. Well, that
Jen
would
will
be
absolutely push that. Um, if Tenpai has gotten, especially on 7-mon or 1-mon draw. Griffin gets played. Is anybody else close? Oh, we have Tenpai
looks
across
like
the way on 2-mon without Yaku.
right.
I did not
So I was about
realize
to
that.
say.
Not a great
And
weight, so
also,
Hanley doesn't want to reach on it. See Stanley doing something weird on the left too. Doesn't want to bother.
I just want to
Overextend,
hit the
playing something bad.
silent Tanyao alarm.
Ooh, that is Tenpai on 7-mon.
Okay, there we
Sneaky
go. Gonna go Dama
Dora.
though.
Yeah, you can't reach that. I mean, that's a reach you do if you want to push other people off, but there's some scary stuff on the board. I'd feel much more comfortable dominating here, being able to back off if I draw like a bad Pinzu or something weird. Jen is gonna play for K10,
Then
accepting hands
that's
not coming
good.
together. Gotta get it while it's good.
But I believe
And Dora
everyone's
is
10
not
pot.
coming out.
Oh.
Oh, does 3-mon come out? Jen's gonna keep Tenpai, plays the half
Oh,
Suji
good
4.
read, Formon.
Checks, I mean 4-7 is scary, but 3-6 is completely unchecked on the board. Decides, hey, I'll take half Suji. It's not great, but it's something.
Best option and good way to identify that option.
And Stanley just debating whether 3 or 5 is safer in the moment. Interesting question. I would say probably 3 is safer. Oh, but
Oh,
Hote
but that's gonna
got
deal
me!
in.
Hote Door 3!
Hote Dora
Oh my
3!
god!
Oh! Oh my goodness, Dealer Mongon. That's
Hote
gotta
Dora
hurt.
3. Oh my god, I missed it. That's crazy.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was a
uh,
TikTok on the 10 o'clock there,
I
too,
mean, I
forcing that
think
alarm.
honestly, on average, 3-mon is safer too because 3-mon can never get worked into a Dora like Ryanmen, whereas 5 could. So I think 3-mon was the right call there, but man, does that
Wow.
suck to have that be the hand you make that call? Oof.
Ooh, yeah,
Oh
that's hard
boy.
indeed.
Yeah,
Well,
to dealer too. Well, that's what you call get on. Luckily, Stanley can afford to give up the points. Stanley can take a bad fourth
right.
here and still be perfectly fine.
Absolutely. East 4 continues then. The Dora is
Yeah,
White Dragon, and we got another good hand for Dealer Jen here.
not too bad. Little clunky in the Manzu, but has these 6s to work around. Ooh, Oh,
More sixes now.
boo. Play the 2-mon. Do
Oh.
something fun. Get crazy with it, Jen, you know? Play 6-mon. Do
No,
something. Do
that's
something weird. Oh, oh, oh! That's what? That's what? That's
okay.
Harrison being right. Exactly. And now it's going to be a cheat
I was
toy
gonna say,
for
I mean,
3,200 points, maybe 64 or whatever the dealer 3,200 is. I don't remember. Oh, Stanley's going for Shinizu across, or not
oh
Stanley,
wow,
Hanley.
yeah,
Yeah, I should probably talk
Hanley,
about
yeah,
that.
yeah, that's coming together nicely. I mean, you just need to
Uh,
chuck that 1 and 4 pin and hope the wall gives you 2 back.
I mean, the shape's really good. Any
It
Monzu is
is.
super useful here. That
This
being
is one of
said, you still got
those
to draw a Monzu.
Shinichi training problems where it's actually kind of an easy one. Meanwhile, Irie making a call on the 567. I guess looking for cheap Tanyao just to keep this from getting out of control. And there's Korak with the clip
Thank
from that last
God.
hand.
What a
Craziness of
crazy. I mean,
absolutely
listen,
that's
Hote
going on the end of
no
Steven's
Mi,
show.
objectively funny, and Dora 3, so it's like a Hote no Mi with a bomb strapped to it. Goodness. Goodness
Wow. And you cut the
gracious.
wrong wire.
Right?
Mm.
Take the true 50-50, happen to roll the wrong way. Ooh, we are going to have Tenpai,
Speaking
though.
of that
Oh, and it
Shinichi, we got
comes out
Tenpai, and it's going to deal
Irie.
in right immediately.
Ah.
Itsu and Shinitsu.
Yes, the
Wait,
Itsu
really?
Shinitsu
Yeah,
for the
sure is.
Hanemon. Yeah. That's
Oh, that's a
very,
great
very
way to
big.
rebound. That brings us to South Round. Already, it was started off slow, but now it's anybody's game as the bombs are dropping.
Yeah,
Little
everybody
is
is
2-so.
scrapping back and forth. Jen in the lead, but whew.
For how long is the question? It's anything can happen in this next half, including another dealer repeat here,
Yeah, Stanley's
perhaps.
got very strong shape here.
A good
Very, very
pickup on that
strong.
7-so.
I don't think 7-Sos is useful. I kind of like playing the 2-3-3-3 3 just because then if I draw 3-so, I can work in the Dora and not have to draw 1 or 4 around it. There's only one more 1-so, and 4-so is not looking... I don't want to rely on just a 4-so in order to use the Dora. So I think being able to work in another easy pair and keeping that 3-3-3-2 is a nice option. Yeah, and Stanley cuts away from it. Although Hanley on the right, still beyond Shanten. Has some interesting options though. An Ipeco route with a nasty Shabo in tow.
Payco, but you still need the 7s or the 4s.
Yeah, it's true, but
We're
I mean you're
finally
playing that
at.
anyway, right? Or you get some Anko, start going towards San Anko routes. Get a little nifty towards that end. Irie
Across the way,
cutting the
we could see
Sozu.
Irie with a Sozu Itsu again, perhaps.
Yeah, I'm surprised that she didn't try to get 3-4-5 Sanshoku. Or I'm surprised she's building that instead of trying to kind of take in more Sozu, play some more Dora.
Yeah,
Hopefully there's not like a
it's
DC
decent
or
value.
something with these three Sumogiris.
Well,
And it's
we
gonna
would
open
see
up
the
to
score go red, right?
and Tenho has not been reliable before, right? Oh,
True.
Stanley draws Dora pair too. Oof. This
Okay.
is about to be a hidden stealth bomber for sure, much like Jen's Hote. Last turn or last hand.
I did actually get to play with Jen yesterday on her stream on Ronron, and yeah, definitely just putting on a clinic. I did not fare well in that match.
Yeah, Jen's showing her dominance for sure. She's looking very good. This is definitely the game she needs to cement her spot into promotion. Although Jen, importantly, this whole table, this is session 5 games. So speaking of which, probably
Oh.
the silly guy running the stream should note that this is not This is not session 6. They still have 8 games to play, including this one. So there's still
Right,
a lot of room for movement.
amongst these four, yes, they're the only 16s left out of the
Mm-hmm.
20s here. And it's just kind of it's a weird thing with that Cincinnati tournament falling when it did, kind of pushed a bunch of games around, but
Mm-hmm.
we're getting
Especially
back
with the
on track
holidays and
now.
everything, too.
Oh yeah, holidays too, yeah.
Ooh, Stanley's opened up now, going towards Tanya, although 6-mon. A bit of a hard sell.
There's a
Pirate's gonna
7
drop
pin
7
going out.
pin. Deals
For a
in
quick
cheap to
Tanya out
Jen.
again.
Probably relatively okay with that. Stanley's now
Yeah.
cemented into the 4th place and kind of just stuck, so she doesn't have to worry too hard about like a bad 4th. Now the goal is to just stay above 30k. Try and pass up Hanley. Try to catch up to Jen too. I'd say that's a
I
fine
think
deal, and I'd pay
Hanley.
1,000 for that.
Yeah, I would too. I think Hanley here is. Well, this looks good with the 5 pin, and you've got good door acceptance potential. Otherwise, I'm not sure what else to say about this one. It's
It's a
kind of
hand.
clunky here.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
just kind
that
of
pair's a
draw
nice one.
around. Yeah, but it's still not enough to really do something. You're still just kind of looking to get into reach here, which, as dealer, you want a plan B, right?
Right,
Irie on the
the
right.
quickest plan you can identify.
3 pairs, hanging Dora. Nothing too much going on in that department. Still decluttering. Jen across, much stronger shapes. Some remnants to play around. Could even potentially look towards another Itsu in that favorite Sozu suit. Might even just go into a standard Shabo. More to come, and Stanley on the left. Another great shaped up hand. Sitting actually E-Shanten right now with possible E-Peiko chance. 5-8, so name of the game.
Ipeko Tanyao, perhaps.
E-Peiko Tanya, or even could build towards Itsu. With a 1-so, Stanley might opt towards that. Drop 6-so with 7-so to play safe to dealer later on. Oh, and draws the last 1-so.
Oh,
That's a sign. You gotta do it now. Drop
written in the
6-so.
stars.
Yeah, you might be waiting on 5, which isn't great. I don't like that sign.
Okay. Hmm.
I
Why?
think
Because it doesn't let you get to Peiko now?
no, I just would rather have a safe tile. I'd rather have that guaranteed Genbutsu to Hanley and dealer seat than the 6-0 I gotta
Fair.
push later. Like 6-0 probably doesn't deal into Hanley under any circumstance, and yeah, you're switching it out when you draw something like East, but then again, even East Tenpai here might be kind of scary. I'd rather just take guaranteed to dealer and hope nobody else can wait on it.
Speaking of the dealer, this hand is. Well, it started to grow here a little bit with that 1, 2,
I mean,
3, and you
now
gotta commit to that fate.
Ishanten, Bryankon,
Yeah,
Bryanmen,
Ishanten.
the value's not there, but again, a Homba's a Homba.
Yeah, just toss that stick and get one back.
Curious to see how sticky Jen plays these honor tiles. I don't think she senses anybody is Dama on them, but she might even just avoid playing them just to slow down the hands.
Well, we've got, with dropping the 5-so, that does let Aura Soul get to Tenpai on that Itsu.
Tenpai on that 8-so. It's 2 out, looking tough to get. Gonna be E2 Dora 1, just 2k. I mean, if you're Stanley there, third 5 out, you kind of have to take it.
Oh, but
And
there's the 8-so anyway.
is able to pull the 8, fates a or fakes a Tanyao, steals a little bit back from Jen, but again, 2k to pass the dealership on. Jen is
Yeah.
more than fine with that, and Stanley definitely looking more and more out of it. Gonna have to just eat this 4th.
And as we head into South 3, the Dora is 3 pin now. And some decent shapes for the dealer Irie here.
Oh my
Some 5, 6,
goodness.
7. Not
Stanley,
much
don't
more
do
beyond
it.
that, but
Don't do it, Stanley. Your Yakuman
Stanley.
chances. Too
Oh
many.
yeah.
Your
I think he's
Kokushi
going for it.
draws. Too different.
I mean, you're well in the lead, you're well in promotion.
I mean,
But
yeah, I think you go for it here. Try to shake things off, especially if you can like hit Hanley or Jen. Just get somebody off balance. I think that's a big, big value here, especially if you can get like towards 30k. This swing is huge. A lot of value in going for this Kokushi with where you are in this game right now, and that high in the standings. We're looking for West, which is only 2 left. Chun, which looks very good in the wall, and Ninemon, which there's only
that's
one left that will be grabbable. That isn't to say that Irie might not push one later, but only time will tell.
that is 10 of 13 orphans, plus 1 if you count the pair. But
Ooh,
that'll
Jen's
be
Tenpai
Jen
though.
jumping
That
into
might back out.
Tenpai.
The Stanley push 6-6 Mon. It's a thing you can do, but you also need to push Dora after that, so I wouldn't be surprised if Stanley folds here. Is going to push 6-6. Do a little bit of dabbling. A
It's
little bit
9
of
so 6
fooling
so.
around. Yep, 9-6. 6-0 is more expensive on the Tanyao. That's going to be Ricci Dora 2 Tanyao, so 6-0 guaranteed Mongon. 9-0, not feeling great either.
7. Oh, there's Red Dragon.
There's another red. It's once out. South not out at all. Would be a very expensive deal. Ooh, excuse me. A very expensive deal in if South deals in, so Irie hesitant to play, have it hit the board.
There's another 9 so. That'll go into
Hanlei's hand.
Conley's hand, yes.
So just 2 9-sos left in the wall, not looking great. And Stanley is bailed officially too. Doesn't like 7-so. Very respectable. Sozu very expensive right now versus Ricci.
And that'll be Stanley, as you mentioned,
Yeah.
he's dropping out.
I agree. 7-so looks really bad. Even with that 4-so, I do not like playing 7-so here.
Just be careful you don't drop the 9 so on your way out.
Oh, I doubt it. Even with 6-so. Shonpai 9, something's weird. Irie's folded too, so it looks like Jen is probably... No, Jen is certainly going to be the only one in Tenpai. Actually, hold on. Stanley's Ishan 10 on Chitoy.
Oh,
That is an
sure
option
is.
at
Wow.
Tenpai. There's still 2 9-so in the wall.
It's one heck of a pivot.
Chun won't do it. There is still a 3-pin to draw. Same with a Haku. Ooh, there goes 1 9-so.
Oh. All the 9 so's are accounted
Jen
for. Oh, just one more.
does have Haite right now. Stanley misses the Chitoy Tenpai. Could still technically have a chance, but Hanley does not give Chi option to Irie. And Jen is the only one in Tenpai. Picking up plus 3k and going to her dealership.
All last dealership. I mean, that's a great spot to be in, and you can just milk for as many points as you can now.
Yeah, I mean, what Jen really wants is a nice, big, juicy sumo right here. Dip Hanley and Irie below 30k. Just take advantage of that extra 5 Uma. Keep
And this hand, and
keep
this
two other
hand is
people down.
already very nicely together. You have 4, 5,
Yeah.
6, 2, 3, 4. You might even be able to make Sanshoku out of this, but either way, you can make something fast out of this.
Yeah, Sanshoku might be a bit tough, but a Ricci Pinfu for sure. Maybe even tack on Tanya out of that. A very nice starting hand, especially matching up to Stanley's Haku Anko.
Yeah, Stanley may just want to end this game before he loses any more points.
That's valid. I mean, there's something... Stanley is, though, the only one under 30k, so might be trying to target Irie here.
Yes.
In order to try and knock her under. Looking like a good Dama 1k hand to do that too. It's a good target, I would say, if I was Stanley right now to aim for. Yeah, and the speed is just not there for Hanley or for Irie. Hanley does have Dora pair, callable for a Yaku high, but it'd be tough. Does anybody want to drop it? Shonpai row 2. Stanley, very interesting decision there. I almost kind of like playing 2-pin instead. and saying, Sanshoku don't really need it.
Boom.
But there is something to be said that if Orichi is hitting on that with 2-3-4 Sanshoku, that is a monstrous hand.
That's
Irie will
Hanley
be the
calling the
south too.
Souths now.
Mm-hmm.
And this hand is... the line's in the way, so I can't see what Sozu that is, but...
We got a monster here. It's 3-3.
Oh, there we go.
So, and now
That's
Tenpai on
3-3,
that.
now waiting on those 6 pin
Gee.
as well.
3-so 6-pin. Jen finds Tenpai 2-5-so.
Yeah, that is Dora Pawn.
What does Stanley do here? 2-pin, not looking too bad. Double 4-pin Tadashi though. Opts for form on.
Hanley could do some
Sumo.
damage on his way out, but that'll be Sumo for Jen, and this game is not over yet.
Jen Sumo's Tanya Nomi. Irie is now dipped. Stanley might try to end it. Hanley's still above 30k though. Jen hasn't quite hit her mark.
And look at this hand for Stanley right here. Already got Ipeco almost on that 7-8-9.
And even if you don't hit Ipeco, you draw Dora on the other end. So either way, you're getting that +1 Han with this shape. Looking very strong, very quick. Jen might struggle a little bit with this hand. Oh, unless Honitsu's brewing.
Okay.
Not quite yet, because we can still play a Dora, but if we get tempted by the wall, will she bite? Although on the opposite end of the table, Hanley with great shape, hitting good draws.
And
Looking
good
around
pairs from
Sean.
Irie here. 4 to be exact. Those are pretty good shapes on their own, though, so Irie does have some options here.
Yep, very
to get back above
flexible.
30k.
Chances at Ipeco. Ends in a shot with things like that. And Jen is going to commit to Honitsu. Double
After picking up that
dragons.
June's,
Gonna
yes,
call
double
June.
dragon. Oh, there it is.
Ishan. Or no, wait, is that even Ishan?
Not quite. I don't
No,
think, because the
yeah.
8-pin's kind of still sitting on its own.
Yeah, needs to pair up.
And
Needs
you
to
have
hit
an
a
extra
better pair
2.
up towards the Pinzu, yeah.
Grab a
Irie
3-pin, that kind of helps things
being
a little.
tested with Ipeco now. Is going to opt to drop 8-8. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think Ipeco Dama to get above 30k is very valuable here. Would have hit Shitoi the next turn Tenpai, but who cares? Who wants that? What, for 1600? Don't need it.
Yeah, you could do better.
Ooh. Oh my. Hold on.
Whoa.
I don't know if you heard this, but rumor. We invited Ryan over, Irie. Why are you barring him from coming over? What's going on?
I don't think I heard about this thing you were talking about.
Ryan, you didn't hear that Ryan was supposed to get an invite to Irie's hands? Ryan, comma Peiko?
Oh.
Yeah,
He's a
coming
nice
along to
dude.
town, and Irie didn't trust it. I mean, ends up working out because this 9-so is
dude.
very bad. Or I guess this 9-so
He came
doesn't
to our
feel it.
meetup last week, actually.
3-6 mon. Can Jen push? Jen's out. She's backing up. Can still win the hand technically, but you need a bit of a miracle. Irie's still going to keep Tenpai on this 9-so. Very importantly, with the reach stick, Chitoi Nomi is plenty here in order to win the hand. Debating on whether to switch to that once out west. Says, you know what, don't want to take the chances on Shonpai 9-so. As we can see, would have been much better to throw the 9-so in and wait on the west that still has 2 in the wall, but what are you going to do? You can never truly know.
We see Hanley still pushing ahead here, picking up a 6-so to continue this hand.
The problem is Hanley has a bunch of scary tiles to push, and something like 6-mon does deal in.
I don't think you try to push this little bit you got over 30k. Try to take that to the bank and move on.
I mean, Mongon Sumo does put Hanley under still. That's something to consider. With a Tenpai, the hand might be worth fighting for, although Hanley is just out. Even plays the Dora though.
Irie is also dropping out of Chitoi here.
Yeah, that's tough. 5-mon and 7-pin both do not look great. Really importantly, Hanley can afford as long as all three other players are not in Tenpai, and if they are, then there's another round guaranteed. So Hanli is guaranteed to either have another round or to be above 30k if this game ends.
It's the all important number. Maybe they're counting on Jen being in Tenpai with those tunes called and just trying again in another
Well,
hand
Hanli
here.
wants the game to end because I would say just picking up that +5 is good enough,
I meant
especially in the
for.
stand. Oh, for
I was meaning
Stanley
in Irie's
or
point of
Irie,
view
yeah.
there. This will be it here. Orasol, the only one in Tenpai, gets 3,000 points to maybe cushion the blow a little bit as we put this one in the books.
Yep, is able to knock Irie under so it doesn't eat the full Uma. But again, in the standings, not too bad of a spot. You will take that to the chin and be fine at the end of the day.
Here's the updated standings, but Stanley is in second now, but not by much. It's a very close race in the top three now, as you can see, with Hanley also moving to third.
Hmm.
Jen right behind him, though, not so
Yep.
much point wise, for fourth place here at 56.5. Couple more games like that, though, and you're in. Irie still fighting here, getting 12.2. I believe they were not into promotion yet, right?
Yeah, they were kind of fighting in that range, but letting Jen dig away definitely was not what you wanted to be doing there. I mean, getting to Tenpai there, while it was scary to push, is such a big swing there. It's super important. Stanley can't really catch up without like a big Hanemon or something, which was unlikely. And just being Tenpai there and getting above 30k, especially if the game ends, is a huge swing, right? You get away from the +5 Uma, and assuming that Hanley is not in Tenpai, then you also get to second place. It's huge, huge there.
Oh,
But
yes, indeed. Indeed.
Irie doesn't want to push, says I don't like it, so I am just gonna back out. I'll take my slight loss. Better than dealing into a big hand and getting a fourth here through some unexpected miracle on Stanley's part.
Indeed. So, do we have these? Are they queuing up for another round next? I think.
Yes, they will be starting in just a second here. So bear with it, y'all. We got about 2 minutes to game start.
Of course, while we're waiting, of course, you can drop us a follow here on the ARML channel here on Twitch to stay up with us when we go live for different things. Of course, we have our regular Wednesday broadcast tomorrow night. We'll have even more action, I believe. It's all as the season starts to wind down here, but of course, as we're seeing here, lots of games left to be played. This is only game 17 for these four, and that's still about 7 more to go. Yeah, 7 more to go.
Yep,
So this will be
seven
game two
more.
here. Game two starting at 53 after. You can also catch up on the previous streams on our YouTube channel. I believe that's. We have our own shortened YouTube link now, right? Let me type that in
Yes,
the chat.
I believe it's youtube.com/armel. Could very
There
well
it is. It's
be YouTube at
youtube.com.
American Ricci. That's what it was.
There you
Always
go.
forget
It's
that one.
there in the chat. Looking snap. And this game is underway. East 1, Jen will be starting us off.
Yep.
Kind of a clunky hand here. Dora's 7 pin though, so maybe you work with that if it comes up, but otherwise these shapes are iffy at best.
Yeah, I think this is one of those you just look to hit one of your Yakuhai and then have a nice, easy callable hand. Although you get the nice Tanya fill-ins, you get your 6, 7, 8 Sanshoku range, you'll be just fine. Holly on the right,
And now,
Pinfu of all time.
very much so. Yeah, that's Hanley, our starting south seat.
Yeah, it does have a Dora worked in, so a little bit of value there, but looking for a reach Pinfu Dora, not too bad. Hitting her on that, that's a Mongon wrapped up in a bow. Irie
Yeah.
across, much of the same. Looking to build in a Dora. Could technically work towards Itsu and the Pinzu. But bit of a journey to get there.
Stanley's also got a journey ahead of him right now. This
Yeah.
hand doesn't look too great, especially after 4 discards.
Yeah, Stanley's gonna have a tough time finishing this one. But you hit your 8 mon.
Oh, there you go. You just gotta
Okay.
talk about it.
Yeah, you can get rid of 2-1
Just gotta talk
Penchant
about
now.
it.
Yep. You can play a Pinfu hand. You can even pair up 4 mon for a
Jen's hand
Guzushan
also
Pin.
coming along pretty nicely. You have a completed shape and one almost completed with the Dora now. But it's second row, and you'd kind of like to see this be a little bit further along now.
I mean, again, when you're a dealer, though, you can only complain so much, and that is Ishan.
Yeah, that's nothing
Um,
to complain about right there.
oh, and Jen is going to play a little bit more
Interesting.
aggressive, opt
Okay.
towards being able to take a Tanya route, potentially, potentially Tonki on that Tuso, pair it up, do some shenanigans towards that. Maybe even pair up the Dora after a
Eat.
8p pawn. Hanley says, y'all don't get enough time to do that, though. I'm going to reach 3-6 mon for that Riichi Pinfu Dora that we talked about earlier.
It's looking good, and here's the 3 Mon.
Not going to come out. Haku will get played, I'd imagine.
Tuso
Ooh.
instead. Okay.
Trust the 2. Says a little bit of Sotagawa there. I don't think that's your weight. And this Haku, I would like more as a reach tile for myself, maybe. Or maybe if another player chases. This Haku is probably safer to both of you. Whereas Tuso, maybe not the
Right.
case.
Well, it did just come out of Irie's hand, so that might be what she's thinking. Hold on to a safe tile here. Dropping 8 pin now.
AP, pretty dangerous, but passes. Ends
And
up being
no
fine.
longer having a pair in this hand. But if you're using Dora, you probably want to get rid of that eventually.
Yeah, I mean, you can throw another 8-pin Tonki on the door. You might also not trust this 3-mon at all, because that was the last Tadashi. Ooh, doesn't matter, yeah.
There you go.
I mean, if you draw around the 3-mon now, you have to draw exactly 4-mon, but you'll be
Irie's
doing
been
pretty
making a
good if
few
you do.
calls, though. Irie's making a few calls, and now this hand is Tenpai. 4 pin, 7 pin
That
for
weight
the win.
is 1 7-pin left in the wall. That's pretty terrible.
Not that they can see, though.
You're not wrong. Oh, and what a great 3-mon
Ooh.
pickup. An absolute savior for Jen. Jen might be able to get a Dora 2 Tanya out here. Oh, if this 3P gets played? Nope, not yet. Could be
Time
cooking,
is
though.
running out here. Only 10 tiles left.
I mean, Hanley is strapped in. Speaking of which, how's Hanley's weight doing? 3 Mons, super dead. 6 Mon, 1 left in the wall. Not great either, I suppose.
There goes the Haku, so Jen trying a last-ditch effort to get this across the finish line. That's not going to happen, though.
Yeah, not quite. Just getting nothing useful from Stanley. And Hanley and Irie are going to get Ryukoku points.
The Noten Bapu, as they call it in some circles. East 2 begins now. The door is
Oh
7 Mon,
boy.
already one of those in this hand.
Look at this. What a beautiful, terrible hand.
Yeah,
I think
it's
this is
got...
one of those that looks deceptively better than it actually is.
Well, hey, you get a completed shape now.
That's true,
2,
but now
3,
you're left
4.
with what? Ryoncon pair? Got
See,
these
that's the
ugly
good thing
9s,
about...
Adora.
That's the good thing about terrible hands.
Well,
They can accept pretty much anything.
that's fair, and I mean, hey, pretty good draws for that. Needs to draw around the Dora, and then pretty much out of the woods. Ooh, maybe even Ipeco Dama on the table. Look at that. Well,
Only thing
Ileon.
is, it's pointing to everything but the Dora here.
Yeah, right. Ari on the right, looking to maybe play a 3-4-5 Sanshoku. Might even cut aggressively with the Sozu to lock that in. Still Ryanshan at the moment. Cross away, Stanley. Got a lot of shape. Still Ryanshan too, but very good Ryanshan. Ari is going to open up for that Sanshoku. Not sure if I'm in love with it. Rest of the hand a little tough. And it's
If
just
you're going for
Sanshoku, no
Sanshoku,
me.
right, well, you are only one tile away from that Sanshoku, but the rest of your hand is going to need.
Yeah,
Is
right.
really your whole hand hinges on that 4 pin coming out
The
from
four
the
pin, and
left
then what are you
or to
waiting
you.
on? Still a two-so
Right, right.
Kanshan? It's tough.
Yeah. On the left, looks like Jen is
Ishan
maybe
then.
shaping up for
Rishi Pinfu.
Itsu here,
Uh,
or
eh.
that too. Maybe it looked like that for a
Oh, well
second,
now
but
you have
maybe
a
not.
Nobeton option. Nah, Jen's not taking it. She's just gonna keep the safe 9p and do reach Pinfudora. No nonsense, no trickery, just standard reach Pinfu +1. Classic. We do see
Very
Irie upgrade the
classic.
shape and get a 7-8 Ramen. Problem is, for your 10 city towards that way.
Yeah.
Ooh, and that is Tenpai for Hanley, and is even gonna Dama. How nasty, sir.
Wow.
Goodness. We have a Pinfu Dora Dama here. Could
Very.
even work it down towards a Sanshoku too. Oh, goodness me. Will you
Oh,
Richi on this now? I think this is the one you don't Richi.
you
Problem is
just
one
need the
mon.
one
There's still
mon.
one left in the wall, yeah. Is
You have to
this?
get it pretty soon though.
Yeah, this is Mongon. Mongon Dama. Oh my
Oh,
god,
there's
and
the
the one
last one
person draws the
mon.
one who can use it. Oh goodness, it's an Anko. Oh goodness gee gracious, we're Tenpai on the Sanshoku. Irie has, through a miracle, shut down this hidden boss, Damamongon from Dealer.
Well, now the
Dealer
four
can
pin can
still
come
win
out
on
anywhere.
Formon. Oh
Well, there's the four
no.
so that's now dangerous against Jen. One
And
so as well, and that's going to
Epoch
deal in.
dealing. Too good to give up. Ricci Potts, Fudora, no Ura, don't need it. And Hanley just gives it away. Unfortunate set of events.
Ouch. But that'll give Jen a lead early on in this game as we head to East 3. Irie here, kicking us off as the dealer for East 3, with a Dora acceptance hand for sure.
Yeah, I would
Decent
say
shapes here. Yeah, you
7,
could
8.
take in that 7.
Yeah, I would say 7, 8, 9 Sanshoku. I almost
You
kind of like
saw
cutting 4-2 Kanshan there. Is that crazy?
4-2 I mean,
Yeah,
I
you
could
keep
see
your
that.
7, 8, 9 Sanshoku shape. You keep
Yeah.
that 5-1 for a quick pawn. Although there is already a 1 mon out. I guess that does change things. Or no, there wasn't when you dropped it, so I think I do like 4-2.
Yeah, it
Could
could
drop
work.
4 first, still go to a Shanta, something like that. Oh, but I'd be
And there's
stupid
3 to
and
fill in that 2-4 anyway.
yeah, I'd be stupid. I'd be missing out on a upgrade
All
here.
right. Yeah, just go to
Just
a Ricci
draw it.
hand here.
Easy as
Draw it.
pie. What, 7 so coming into? You're gonna get your 6-9 premium. Stanley on the right, hands. Tanyao City has a Dora here. Maybe even Dora Tonki in the future. Pawn the 3M. Wiggle around it. Jen across. A very flexible hand. Ipeko route on that 5-mon draw. It's a couple pairs. Could go towards Tanyao. Very flexible. The draws will tell. And Hanley with hand on the left, a little clunky. Either needs double Dora to fill in. Or has to play it towards Chitoy and is going to go more towards that double Dora route. Could also take a Shabo on 8 so, 9 so. 8 so is trapped, but again around that Dora, so not as reliable.
We got
And
Tenpai for Stanley
Stanley,
now.
ooh.
7 so, 3 mon.
7 so, 3 mon. The 3 mon might come out, and that'll be a
Ooh.
run. That is going to be 52. Tanya Dora 2 with the foo to back it up. Sneaky
And just
play
like a
from Stanley.
Absolutely. And just like a certain other E3, that East 3 is over. Moving on to East 4 now.
Ooh, good
5 so
starter.
is the dealer here. Sorry, the Dora here. But our dealer could get that. Good shapes here in this hand to start with, for sure. Really? Nobody got my E3 joke? Oh well.
Oh man, too soon.
Boom.
Too
It just
soon.
well, it's relevant. It's called relevant humor.
That news broke today, and that's been known for like 5 months. Ain't nobody, everyone
Oh
forgot that
yeah,
one.
very. I mean, it
Everyone
was
was like,
all over, but
"Oh,
the
they're still
Boom.
clinging on."
anyway, we got 2 calls on Yakuhai already here from Jen and from Irie. Gonna push these hands along, and looks like they kind of need
Boom.
it. Though Irie could make, I think, a lot more value with this hand. But that's Jen already in Tenpai now. 2 Mon. We see a pair of that in the hand across from her.
And we'll have to see if the draws work around.
Seeing Hanley with trying to get that hand together across the
Ooh.
way. But now dealer's Tenpai after
Gee.
calling 2-3-4 so. Waiting
Yep,
on that 5
Kanchan
so.
on that Dora, and now Iris Tenpai on 2-4 Mon. 2 Mon, a double dealer
Sumo.
now, but Iris just draws
Ooh.
those. Kind of a unfortunate sumo though on the 1K.
Probably
Very,
just
very
looking to
cheap
move
in.
things along, and I mean, it's still, we have very close scores going into the half. I feel like I said that last time, but still lots of chances to come back. We're going on to South 1 now. Dora 8mon. Couple of pairs in this hand for the dealer. Otherwise, decent shapes. Might have a little bit of trouble because they all seem to be on the edge, unless you want to embrace it and go for Chanta or something.
Yeah, that's even a hard shift. I'm not even. I
Yeah.
was gonna say, if anything, I might build an Itsu with that Dora, but Jen just gonna keep her Yaku highs open, some safe tiles to play towards the bottom.
Oh, maybe Ipeco. Yeah, there's a 3. And Hanley, with this hand, has some good shapes forming up. You have that 3-sided shape at the end there with the Sozu, with Adora, I might add. So it looks nice. But we've already got Tenpai from Stanley on the left here. Very nice looking. It's not quite Pinfu because of the weight and the pair.
Yeah, I think Stanley's gonna be looking for a Chanta here, although with 2 9s out, it's a bit hard.
Could happen. He's Dama for now. Probably waiting to upgrade this.
Yeah, either wants a Ryonbin, a Shabo with 7 or 9 pin. Ooh, just like that,
Reach.
and yeah, Stanley
Oh,
is gonna
okay.
immediately shove. I agree with that.
You speak
Good
it into
way, good
being.
upgrade.
7-pin White Dragon for the win for Stanley.
Ooh, Jen's hands coming together too, though.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Oh boy, that's another
This could
pair
be a
for Irie.
face-off.
Irie's got decisions.
Sumo.
Oh, but that's going to pick up his White
Well,
Dragon anyway. Stanley takes this one home.
that's a big one. Yeah, that's a good Epot
Mangan.
Sumo. On
And
the
that'll be
correct
the
side,
lead.
too. Boy, possible Rishinomi into Mangan with the addition of Epot Sumo
Incredible.
correct weight. Look at that.
Good read of the wall there, as some accused me of doing
Yeah,
at a certain other tournament.
casual, basically Tonki Chance Epot Sumo. Nothing fancy.
Yeah.
Stanley says, don't sweat it. Ain't nothing big. Business as usual.
And Hanley, our dealer now, as we head into South 2. Dora's 4-pin. And good shapes here. You even got the Dora sitting nicely in this hand. Just need a couple to fill in. I mean, there's some closed weights here you'd have to fill in a little bit there. And drawing that 4 so doesn't really help the situation too much. Irie, on the other hand,
Yeah,
has a good
Ishanten.
shape here. Ishanten already getting
Just
close.
Pinfu Nomi at the moment, but you had to reach that. You just Epot Sumo in the reach and it's easy. Who
Yeah, why
cares?
not?
Who cares?
Stanley keeping
Interesting
up the
decision.
momentum. Look at these shapes, these sequences, and the Manzu, already an Anko and Sozu.
Yeah, I really
Could be
like
looking for Itsu.
yeah, I like the decision there from Stanley too to drop Haku Haku, realizing it's kind of limiting the value. It takes away Pinfu. You already passed the one you didn't want to open up just for two Han. Recognizes how valuable this hand is, and yeah, has an Itsu route. Even has a Tanya Dora reach route for a quick minimum 52. Great options coming up for
Jen
Stanley.
calling.
Oh, the
Jen
problem
calling south.
is
Now the 9.
Ken's firing.
On all cylinders, waiting for the 4-so.
Yeah, I mean,
Fairly
fives are pretty blocked, so four's not the most usable. Can probably
has the
still be
option to
used by
switch
both
things up
is.
too.
Yeah, wants to avoid with that AP.
Hmm. All right, that's
Oh, and
Tenpai for
Izu
Stanley now.
confirmed 2-5. Yeah, just Damamangan. Nice and easy.
Oh, could switch it up to Shanpon here
Oh,
with
if
double
you
Dora.
were greedy, oh
Ooh.
my goodness. Greedy, and you did the Tonki on Dora, that would have been Ipatsumo Itsu Richi Dora 2.
I think it's
Goodness.
a.
You never
I think
take
that's a
that.
good idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
never take it.
No. There's
Oh, that might
4-so.
deal in
But
though.
that'll
Yep.
deal in.
And that's a Mongon Hanley.
Very nicely done.
Getting conked right here. Stanley with a big hand.
Stanley looking to jump right back into first and really try to stay there this time.
Yeah, Stanley's like, I'm going to get back. I gave you guys some points, made you feel some confidence. I'm going to break it down here in
Look
my
to
meta
blow past
strategy.
Kaz. We still have 2 rounds to go. It's South 3. Dora is 9 pin. We see one in this hand, but that might get chucked pretty early on to make room for an Itsu of some sort.
I mean, yeah, Honitsu looking very viable. Only the pair of Norse right now. Irie definitely looking to fish for another Yakuai pair. Sadly, we can see Haku ain't going to be the answer. But you never know for the others. South or Itsu might pair up.
Might see a similar story from Stanley here. You see the pretty good shapes in Manzu and kind of some scraps of Pinzu right now, and also a bunch of honors just sitting around at the end. And across the way, we see an Ipeko shape from Jen. With that 3 pickup, could even go for Chitoy. But you kind of like the value you're getting from this, but maybe you hope to get lucky with that Ura. For Hanley, this hand is definitely the weakest of the bunch. And you hate to see it with him being in last, trying to just find a way forward here, but I don't think you're going to find that with this hand, so you might just want to play this safe and look for something better in all last. Meanwhile, Irie with this hand coming together. The Pinzu don't want to leave, so Irie might be working with them now. If you can't beat them, just eat them. We do have Tenpai, I believe, across the way. Yes, Jen is Tenpai for Chitoy. Waiting on 7-so now. 7-so, which we do see a pair of in the dealer hand. One left in the wall. Not calling Ricci, so free to change this weight.
Ooh, didn't want to take chances for anything big. Said I'd rather take my guaranteed points, make sure I can stay in second here.
Yeah, probably the best call to make.
Oh! Look at that. Because Jen wanted to play Chitoy, she is now out of 32K. Remember
There
that.
were some options there that
Remember
she could have
that,
done before. Yeah, we'll
Cheatoyers.
see. We'll see. Hey, I'm a cheatoyer here.
25 foo enjoyers.
It makes it easier to count up, okay?
Yeah, okay. We might see this swap Rishi. Nope, doesn't want it.
And hey,
One
we
so, a
have
little bit
such
more
good
guaranteed, but wants a ton, yeah.
we have such good Dora and Uradora efficiency with Chitoi that we sometimes don't even need to worry about 25 Fu. We might get Mon gone right away. Who knows? Though with Jen not calling Ricci here, still trying to feel things out perhaps, or just play it safe altogether. Either way.
Yeah. It is 3,200. Yes.
As you said,
Yeah. 3,200,
giving up
not
half the points.
32,000. But 3,200, decent buffer going into South 4.
That's all Jen really needs right now.
Problem is, everybody else still kind of fighting because they don't sense any danger. No threats
Yeah.
identifiable on the board.
We're just about Tenpai for Hanley. But with that call of the Norths, I believe that makes our dealer,
Irie's
Irie.
going into Ryukoku. Tenpai on Tuso. Would be a Hote play.
Yes, all the 2-Sos accounted for, but gonna make another call. 7-So now, waiting on 3-So, 6-So.
Much
Again, 2
better
pairs in Jen's hand.
on average, yeah, but problem is Jen has them all. So Hote
Right,
not looking
right.
likely. Although Jen might fold out. Jen does have a Dora right now. Hellweight on the Dora. Doesn't want to give it to anybody.
Closed con now, called by Stanley. Interesting this late.
I
Especially,
believe that was to give, or that was to take Haite. Could be mistaken. I wonder if Irie would have shoved that. Almost never does Irie shove that instead of 360, even if it doesn't come out from Jen. Jen switches the weight up to 4. Hoping to get it trapped, does not hit.
and that's South 3, continuing now. As our dealer gets 1,500 points, continues on for another game. The Dora is 8 Mon, and we're seeing that in a great shape here in the Monzu. Pretty decent shapes for that. You got... Oh, never mind. Pinzu looking great now, too. You got a shape there. Send this one home. That's all you got to do. And good shapes for Stanley as well. Like what I'm seeing here in Sozu. Just drop a few extra twigs and you're good. Jen across the way. It's looking okay. You got a pair of red dragons you could possibly call if you wanted to go quickly, but she might be looking for maybe a little bit more pizzazz.
Yeah, something a bit more interesting. No use in, playing it easy going. Nothing going on towards that end.
Meanwhile, Hanley. Again, I'm not really seeing a whole lot of pizzazz here. We've got Stanley calling 1, 2, 3. I imagine going for Chinitsu here, perhaps? Yeah, that's the play indeed. Though it does kind of show that play off to the rest of the table here, with the discards and that call.
Threemon's an interesting. I think Irie's weighing out.
Yeah.
Not quite Tenpai. Looking for options. Decides to throw 7 Mon. I think this is the biggest Ishanten possible. Unfortunately, that is not part of it.
And now we have a Chi called by Hanley.
Yep, just gonna play standard Tanyao, Dora 2.
But now we
Technically
have
at 6,
Tenpai
7,
for
8,
Stanley.
Sashoku chance.
Tenpai and Tenpai for Stanley now.
Oh, and Hanley's checking it. Wow.
Wow, 5
And
So. Oh, it's 7 So
7.
now. It's the only thing that deals in.
I think on average this has more upgrades. Maybe not. I don't know. 9mon comes out, but again, no Yaku. Oh, just draw the 6. There you go, Irie.
Who needs
That'll do
Yaku
ya.
when you draw it yourself?
That's why they let Sumo go. They let it be.
And that puts Irie above 30k as we continue with South 3, as Irie seems to be on another streak here. Dora is 3 Mon, with good shapes in this hand.
She's building up some value, making an attempt. This is looking like another kind of Tanya transfer. Hope to add a Dora to the stack. Ryoncon, not the best in the world, but I mean,
Eat.
Homba's Homba. Oh, Hanli's got turn 2 reach,
Whoa.
though. On
Turn 2
a...
reach. 2 pin.
Yeah, just 2 pin. Not the best, but, I mean, early 5 pin comes out. That's a Suji trap. Someone might fall victim. I don't know why Irie tests the 9 mon. Probably Shun is the right answer there, I would think. Definitely you push against this from Irie's position for sure. A sumo here would be devastating, so I think you do want to fight. They do say with early reach too, the what is it? The by the book play is to just ignore it for a while.
Right. If nothing is safe, everything is safe. That's what I always go by.
Yeah.
And we're starting to
Stanley.
see a little bit of the safe here. We were clued in that Sozu might be the safe suit, and that would be correct.
Much
But
more room to look around.
For how long when you see this shape building up in Irie's hand, though?
Ooh, Irie drops 8, so honestly, I might risk 4 so there.
I would too, I'd think.
I think, yeah, I'm much more worried about the 7 mon, 4 mon shape. I don't want to commit to 6 mon, and I'd like to take a pawn on like 7 mon. Like, I might be willing to risk a 5 mon or 4 mon if Dora comes out, and I can see it. Sozu, I think you just got to be brave and push, keep your San bench on. I think you definitely got to be aggressive here for sure.
Right. We haven't seen much from Jen's hand so far, but this is looking pretty nice. This could be a contender should she continue to push it and definitely have that door 3 mon.
Has to check
It's
5 pin.
Shanten.
5-2.
We might see a
left
chase
unchecked.
Here. There's the 6-0.
I mean, are you brave enough? She is going to Dama, no Yaku at the moment. Maybe just keeping a sumo open.
Reach.
Now she's going to reach with the sumo.
Oh my goodness, and that's what it takes to be a pro, ladies and gentlemen. You have to read the wall for E-Pots. If you can't do that, kiss it goodbye. You ain't a pro, you're flipping burgers in the Mahjong world, and you just gotta know that's how it be. You just gotta hold that one.
I've been told I read walls. Maybe I got what it takes. Nah, just kidding. But maybe. Anyway, it's South 4.
Yeah, Stanley's got a hand. Hanging Dora.
Stanley's got a hand and a lead here.
Kind of nice. Yeah, I'm interested to see if a pawn option, specifically probably the 6 mon, comes up if Stanley takes. Drops Dora.
On the left, we see Irie calling Nortz immediately for